Hey everyone, Kristin here with MACkite, and today I'm going to talk about the Airush Lithium. I'm going to cover who's it for, what the kite is good at, and also the new team construction, and what is that all about. Let's get into it. Now, Airush has been around since '99, and they've had a variety of kites in their lineup over the years. But the Lithium has been a staple in their lineup, and they're on the 13th generation. Over the last several years, they made a lot of refinements to the kite, which has made it a really phenomenal all-around kite. The Lithium is a Delta hybrid three-strut kite, and it's extremely stable in all conditions, and it handles gusty conditions really well. I still remember my first impression on the Lithium. My first thoughts were, wow, this is a really lofty kite. Not only does it pick you up and give you a lot of hang time, it also brings you down very softly. So it picks you up. I had a lot more airtime than I was expecting and what I'm used to. And then when I came down, I was just so pleasantly surprised at how soft my landings were, which I think is a huge advantage, especially for anybody learning how to do back rolls, front rolls, grabs, board offs. You want as much hang time as possible so that you have time to do all those things. And it's important to have a kite that not only gives you the time to do those, but also gives you the soft landing. So if you're somebody who's working on any of those, you could really benefit from having a kite like the Lithium that'll give you the extra hang time, give you that loftiness, but also make your landings a lot softer. It's probably one of the loftiest kites that I've ever flown. And I think that's what makes that such a fun all-around freeride kite is it's fun to fly. It's not a boring kite that just sits there and pulls you. You can have a lot of fun flying it, but also it's very stable. I personally usually am not a huge fan of all-around kites. I usually like a little bit more specialty kite. But every time I've taken the Lithium out, I have a lot of fun. And there's actually been days where the wind's kind of mediocre, and I've preferred to take the Lithium out, and I still have a blast out there, which was surprising for me. Not only is it very beginner friendly, it's also a very responsive kite, which as an experienced kiter makes it a really fun kite to fly. Sometimes beginner friendly kites tend to be a little bit slower or not as responsive and not as fun for you to fly yourself as an experienced kiter. Now, what makes it beginner friendly? It's stable in all conditions, it handles gusts well, and it has good low end. So if you're trying to go out in those lighter conditions, which sometimes tend to be better for beginners, that kite's gonna get you up on the water. And also the relaunch on it is good. It has swept back wingtips, which when you crash a kite in the water, it makes it really easy to get that kite back up in the air. Now for bar pressure, I would say it's about mid-bar pressure. It's not the lightest bar pressure I felt, but it's also not the heaviest. Sometimes with kites that have extremely light bar pressure, you can have a hard time telling exactly where the kite is at, which isn't always the best feeling, whether you're new or you're experienced. You want to be able to know where the kite is at. But at the same time, you don't want a kite that gives you so much bar pressure that your forearms and your arms get tired. And I've been flying the Lithium over the last several months, and my forearms have never gotten tired, my arms have never gotten tired, and I love the feedback that the bar pressure gives me. I've also tried some Freestyle on the Lithium as well, and I was surprised at how well that kite did for Freestyle. Now, is it as good as a sea kite for Freestyle if you're an advanced freestyler? No, but if you're learning freestyle and you want to try out freestyle, the Lithium does great for it. Especially if the conditions are not ideal and the wind is maybe a little gusty or up and down, the Lithium can handle those conditions and you can still work on some freestyle. I've also taken the Lithium out in waves. I took a 9-meter out and I think it handled well. It drifted well. I never had an issue with the kite backstalling. And especially with the smaller size, the 9-meter, it was very playful. I was able to down loop just fine and kind of weave in and out of the waves. The pulley system that it has that allows the forgiveness for beginners is also what makes it a great wave kite. You can fully depower the kite, but yet it's still responsive when you're riding waves. Now it is a little bit more grunty than a traditional wave kite, so if you're taking the Lithium out in waves, I would recommend sizing down a little bit unless you do like to be more powered in the waves. I've also tried some baby kite loops on the Lithium and I had fun doing that. Now I personally have not done big kite loops on the Lithium, so I can't give you my personal experience, but I have talked to several people who have, and they said they had a lot of fun on the Lithium doing kite loops. But I do think that if you are advancing into more advanced kite loops, you could benefit more from a big air kite like the Lift. Now what is the Team series and what is the hype all about with this brand new construction? The Team construction is made out of a material called Hukipa, which is Airush's lighter, stiffer material. Hukipa is Airush's unique Ultra PE fabric. It's a high pressure leading edge material, and it is 10 times stronger and stiffer than standard fabric. The load frame and the way it's designed maintains durability without sacrificing performance or weight. When you look at the kite, you can see how it's woven. And the way it's woven, it prevents the material from stretching out or bagging out, which allows your kite to maintain its integrity for longer. Because the fabric is stronger, it allows the kites to have a narrower leading edge. So the Team series kites have very narrow leading edges. Because the leading edges are narrower, it leads to faster and more responsive kites. And you'll feel the difference in the smaller kites, but where it really makes a difference is in the bigger kites. So when you're talking about 9, 10, 12 meters, I've flown the 17 meter and I was blown away when I saw how narrow the leading edge is. It's very narrow and it allows the kite, being a 17, to fly more like a 15 compared to other kites with the standard construction. And because some of these bigger kites with the Team construction have a narrower leading edge and they're faster and more responsive, you can get out in more lighter wind days with a bigger kite. Now, a lot of times people think, you know, if the wind is light, I'm just gonna go foiling. You could really be holding yourself back with your twin tip kite progression or just your light wind kite progression if you automatically switch to foiling on those light wind days. If you have a big kite with a narrow leading edge like the Team series Lithium, it can get you out in those light wind days when other people can't get on the water. Also, maybe your home spot isn't foil friendly. Maybe your home spot tends to be a lot more shallow water, which can be ideal. And having a fun, all-around freeride kite with the Team series construction can get you out on so many more days. So who is the Team series for? If you're looking for that premium material and that lightweight material that's stiffer and stronger, the Team series is for you. And if you want an all-around freeride kite that is very fun and stable in all conditions, very beginner friendly, but also very fun for experienced riders, the Lithium is for you. So it's up to you if you want to go for a standard construction Lithium or the Team series Lithium. Either way, if you want an incredibly fun freeride kite that gives you serious hang time, very lofty, but is also very responsive, the Lithium might be for you. Hopefully you found this video helpful. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Feel free to leave a comment or question below, and I'll catch you next time.